Good morning, guys. Forristicat here once again. Today I want to put forward my thoughts on Kiefer Sutherland as an actor and a little bit of 24. I'll touch on a little bit of 24, and I'll also touch on the show Touch, which just aired in America a couple of days ago. Now, I remember, the first time I saw an ad for 24 down here in Australia. I wasn't really aware. I wasn't really following the TV shows in America at the time, so I wasn't really aware of 24 and how it had gotten ahead there by however many of episodes it was. And when I saw the ad for 24, every second is your second, every hour is your hour, every day is your day, I thought, damn, this hasn't been done before. This is going to be actually a pretty good show. So when I got into 24, the first season was fantastic. Season 2 also pretty good. The only thing with season 2 is that they blew their load a little bit too early with the nuclear bomb threat in season 2. Would have been better if they went from a particular threat to just a little bit more of a threat, not just boom, straight away up to a nuclear bomb level of threat, which is you can't really get more intense in terms of threat than that. So from there, it was they had nowhere else to go. I mean, where could it have gone? After all the seasons, Jack Bauer would have to go to the moon and stop the moon from crashing to Earth or something like that. But nevertheless, the whole series of 24 was very good. Season 3 is my personal favorite. My favorite episode overall was where Jack Bauer kills Ryan Chappelle. But somewhere in the middle there, the show sort of lost its way. Where it was good in the first couple of seasons, where it was the episodes which it felt like it was part of the whole city which it was set in. It felt like the best parts of 24 was when Jack Bauer came into contact with the random people which were just going about their day. Now, I harp on a lot about it, stories being a trifecta of stories, character, emotions. Emotions feed into things that you can relate to. So when you see a story, you identify with a character, or you see something that you're familiar with, your brain goes, "Oh, boom, I can relate to that." It automatically makes you more attracted to the story. So whenever you see Jack Bauer and Laura the waitress in season 1, or Jack Bauer coming into contact with Kyle Singer in season 3, or Jack Bauer trying to save someone's sister in one of the final seasons. This is the very everyday people which Jack Bauer came into contact with. It made the show more realistic and made it hit harder to home. So those are my favorite aspects of the show, and just the fact that the show was split up in 24 hours was a pretty unique and novel idea at the time. Also made it one of my favorite shows of all time. So when 24 finished, I was quite upset because I've been following the show right from the beginning as soon as I found out about it, and then I thought, damn, now what am I going to do? So I went on to Quantum Leap, I went on to a couple of other shows, and now there are so many good shows to watch that I seriously don't have time for all the shows. I'm just sort of ranking them in order. I'm going through Southland at the moment. It's a very good cop drama. And when I saw on Facebook, I'm a fan of Kiefer Sutherland, so when I was getting the status feed that Kiefer Sutherland was starting a new television show called Touch, I thought, okay, this seems random. And then I looked at it, and then I understood where they were going with it. The whole premise of everyone is connected. This little kid sees patterns. Then my first thought was of the movie Mercury Rising. I thought, okay, they're borrowing the idea of kids who have particular mental disabilities is not actually a disability. They reframe it as it's sort of a gift that they can sort of see patterns in things which we would never be able to see. So I thought, okay, fair enough. And I looked at the trailer. I thought, this is pretty interesting. Now, for me, stuff which shows sort of how everyone is connected, especially different parts of the world. Lost that pretty well, I think, in terms of sort of bouncing between different locations. From England to Iraq. From Iraq to back to the island, to Australia, sort of bouncing around the whole world, sort of showing different aspects of people living in society. That stuff I do like. It sort of shows how it shows the totality of the world and how the story sort of within the show fits into that. So So when I saw that for Touch, I thought, you know what, this seems like a pretty good show. I should give it a go. So I watched it yesterday, and I have to say it was done pretty well. Now, given it is a pilot, so naturally the pilot is going to be amped up to actually get green lit, so for more episodes. I don't think there's going to be. I don't think it's been announced that there's going to be any more episodes yet. I guess they're still working out the ratings or whatever. But the show was pretty good. But unfortunately, Kiefer Sutherland is stuck as Jack Bauer in my mind, and as a result, Kiefer Sutherland, he pretty much cannot shout in any form without being thought of as Jack Bauer. I mean, that's sort of stuck to him for better or for worse. So when the character's name in Touch sort of starts shouting like this is Jack Bauer, except in a different show. But I knew it was going to happen, so I wasn't really surprised. So in terms of showing how I like the story, how it showed the writers were pretty smart on this one, in my opinion. How they were showing the connections between these chain of events, but by the same token, I'm worried that this can only be done for a finite number of episodes before they'll be coming across as spinning their wheels. I remember one show called The Nine, which had I can't remember the guy's name. One of the guys from Party of Five, some other actress which was in Prison Break, had Audrey from 24 in it as well. And the premise was there's a bank robbery which goes down, some sort of massive hostage / heist situation. Then it sort of jumps forward in time and it shows all the lives of the people after the actual event, and sort of shows how their lives got affected. Now, it got cancelled because viewers dwindled due to the fact that it was not giving people enough stuff to latch onto to be interested in, and the story sort of felt like it had like a huge hole in. But that's what they were going for. They were sort of trying to fill in the holes over time. However, they didn't realize that there needed to be like a set amount of interest to actually grab onto people and hold them in. Touch also reminds me of a show called Flash Forward, which also got cancelled after one season. Had an actress from Lost in it. Had Ralph Fiennes, I think, or was it Joseph? I can't remember. And had a couple of other not too bad actors in it. But it was always good and never great. So Flash Forward being that the whole world's consciousness jumps forward 9 months or whatever forward, and as a result, people have seen their futures, and then they go back to the present day. So also not a bad show, but it never really did push the sort of the storytelling I would have liked. With Touch, with this first episode, it did sort of meet my expectations, maybe even surpass them a little bit. It had a couple of good moments in there, a couple of sad moments, couple of not so good writing moments in terms of like when the kid had the bomb and the girl on the call center sort of convinced him not to blow up someone because of an oven. I thought that was pretty weird when she's like, well, do not blow up these people or I'll get you an oven. It sounds almost like a joke or something, but I'll let that gloss over. My only concern is that how can they take this? I mean, you can show how the world is connected and how like this kid has his gift, but I don't understand what their end game is, because you could think about like we've already seen the whole show now. Like they did a pretty good job in the first episode of showing how things are sort of related, the butterfly effect or whatever, the domino effect, one thing leads to another. But if they keep on doing that, it's gonna get boring very quickly, because we've already seen sort of that at its best storytelling. I thought it was pretty good. So now where do they go with it? I mean, they've already stopped one disaster from happening. Are they gonna just make it bigger and have some sort of like larger attack or something like that? I'm not sure where they're going with this. However, it was a pretty good show. Definitely a step in a different direction for the actor Kiefer Sutherland. So sort of happy to see him back anywhere, because I'm sort of a fan of him. However, I just don't know where they're going to take the show from here, purely because there's only so many ways that you can show people are connected without coming across as boring. But nevertheless, when if episode 2 does get greenlit, I'll definitely check it out. For those of you who want to check it out, I recommend watching it once, just to see how it's like. Probably like if you're into sort of more family sort of fuzzy warm feelings inside sort of TV shows, you'll like this. And if you're a fan of Kiefer Sutherland, I'll definitely recommend checking it out. So Touch, Kiefer Sutherland, a boy who has autism and has to sort of, the character, Jack Bauer's character, has to sort of listen to him in order to show the kid that he is being listened to, albeit they're communicating in terms of these patterns, and he's sort of like giving Jack Bauer signals of how everyone is connected, and as a result stopping certain events which seem disjointed from other events but actually are connected, and as a result people get saved, lives are touched, etc., etc. So Forristicat signing off again. Give the show a watch if it sounds like a cup of tea. I understand it's probably not a show for everyone. Nevertheless, I enjoyed it, and we'll stick around for at least a couple of more episodes just to see how it pans out. But I'm curious to see where the show goes. Alright guys, have a good day, and see you soon.